Hey, I'm Nick. I'm doing the Volition here on Let's Write Tonight. Let's get going. I had just enough time to get a B on a quiz to squeeze in some more stuff here. We were doing the rapid fire dream sequence here. It's a combination of him just totally freaking out, and it's supposed to be a little funny. Like just completely over the top chaos. We've already covered his time in the dream. One of the first dream scenes. We've covered his time in class twice already, so we don't need to rehash all of that again. So I need to try to make this funny here. It has to like a slow build up to just absolute insanity. They spell ARG. So again, so we established the ordinary, and so there's pieces of this that I'm going to rehash. You know, Matt, his friend's always in his truck out front, so that's ordinary, but it's just the world stays the same and Patrick is changing. And that's all part of the not the story arc, but hold on, I know what I'm talking about. No, this is what I modeled mine off of. Here we go. So, based on his hero's journey, we've established the ordinary. We know what his daily routine looks like, but now he's suffering the changes as they're occurring, and he is reluctant to it. And if you were wondering if you could use this, I've got it up on our website. You just gotta search it out. It's not free. It's like 50 cents, but that's because I can't post it for free, or I would. It's pretty obvious I'm making a lot of room for edits later. Ugh, my eye. Oh boy. Nice. And if you didn't notice, I added a little progress bar. I've typed a lot of pages since doing the stream. 15. That's a lot, even though it's been 8 months. 15 pages. I feel like that's good progress. It's better than I was making it, and I took like a 3-month break on this thing. 4-5-month break on this, so technically it's 15 pages in 3 months, which is even better. That's an oddly specific prank for reasons. I didn't do it. I'm not that imaginative. That's also a specific example. On the plan. Sturatus. Making up some interesting words. Don't worry, this gets more and more lighthearted as we get along here. I want to introduce not as many characters as possible, but like Holly's going to turn up later in the story, so trying to sort of seed this as a character that Patrick cares about early, so that her reappearance later in the story is a little bit more impactful. Kinda is a word. What? I disagree. No, what are you doing? Huh? Flo wants to play. Hey, what up, robot? Sorry, I missed you. Yeah, kinda is a word. I think Microsoft is losing their touch there. So, the story of the Volition is about a kid who grows up having nightmares about a plane crash he's in when he's older, right? Basically, he goes through life convinced that he's gonna die in his mid 40s or something in a plane crash, and so it sort of plays with the idea of free will, right? Where he thinks he's not immortal, but invincible until he reaches this point, and he gets that idea from some advice from an old man that I haven't got to yet. But it's basically he perceives he has a superpower, and throughout the story, while he doesn't, die or anything, people around him have consequences for his actions. So he sort of grows up quick. What are you writing? That'd be cool. I would say probably fantasy and action would be a little bit more fun to write on the front end. This is sort of almost like a modern story, so it's really hard to get started getting into the good stuff. It'd be a lot more entertaining to get into the dragons and the swords or whatever early on. It's about a boy named Owen whose family dies in a village fire and is taken in and cared for by a group of misfits who were thrown out into the Outlands for being different. Okay. They train him to use his powers for better, and that leads into a few other things. So when you say Outlands, I'm imagining like post-apocalypse or something like that. Is it medieval, or what kind of scene are you talking? like an abandoned place by the kingdom that people with weaker powers are sent to fend for themselves. Oh, okay. So is magic sort of a commonality in the populace then? Yeah, I hear. Brother, I've been working on this story since 2007, like no joke, even 2006 maybe. So I get it. Having characters with good backstories is a big help too. Oh, the king decides what to do. That's interesting. So the king isn't just like a monarch. He's probably, or a yeah, monarch. He's probably some sort of a. Does he keep the ones that like specialize in destruction for himself for his army or something like that? He keeps anyone who produces insane amounts of mana and looks normal. So the normal's interesting, because now I'm wondering what levels of abnormal are you talking? Is it I guess if you're talking fantasy, so my mind is either already going, it was either post-apocalyptic where you had basically, you know, mutants, and then you've got fantasy, which is normal would be your typical human, and then abnormal would be your other fantasy creatures, right? Like dwarves or elves or something like that. Oh, what are you doing? There's a character who was part of the royal family, but her powers messed up her eye, causing it to go completely black and making it look abnormal. Cool. It sounds like a good start to a universe. How far have you got so far? Yeah. Well, now's the time, dude. I'm in the middle of a rapid fire dream sequence. So he's been having this main character Patrick is having more and more nightmares, and they're happening at increased frequency, and it's wearing him down. You have backstories and descriptions, a lot of stuff just in files. Yeah. That's how I got started. I've got folders just for like concept pictures of scenes I want to write, and I've got music set aside because, you know, I've got StreamBeats right now playing, but if I was doing this just off stream, I'd have other music playing because I use that music to sort of set the tempo and mood for what it is I'm writing. I haven't published anything yet. This will be my first But I'll tell you what, like, I cannot even think about other stuff besides this story, so I need to just get it done, you know? Do you want to publish? Yeah, that's like the next hurdle to this, right? Like, getting out the story is one thing, but advertising yourself and finding a publisher and advertising the book, it's a whole different dimension of this whole process. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I looked at Amazon self-publishing. I've seen some success stories with that, but I don't know. I think I'd feel more of an accomplishment if it was like a bona fide publisher that I started working with, because writing stories is something that I wouldn't mind getting into like a career, you know, ideally someday. So, yeah. You gotta finish it first, right? I used to look for publishers early on, just like, who would I want to publish through? And I guess in my mind it was, well, what do they want published? But then it was like, I don't want to write to what they're gonna want. I want to write what I want, and we'll see what happens. How do you think you can share it? Yeah. What I'm doing is I'm just puking out a few thoughts before I try to start up a whole new dream sequence here. I think I got Danny up in the chat here, but I don't know how to get him to talk. Speak, Danny.
Hello.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, I was working on a story here, and one of the guys in the chat was going to share something that they wrote.
Nice.
I wrote just over a page today.
Only 2,000 more to go.
Actually. Yeah, sure, man. I have written 43 pages out of 200. 200 is the goal.
It's a good goal. You're over a fifth of the way there.
Not bad, not bad. Microsoft Word is correcting me on my slang.
It's got to add all the slang to the dictionary.
It said the word kinda isn't a word. That's a lie. Kinda is a word. And I'm 35% convinced of that.
It's kind of a word.
Oh, you're good, man. That sucks, because I was actually interested in seeing what you had. I'm gonna have to set something up where people can share what they're working on. I'll have to think of a way of doing that. Oh, thanks for following. Well, I've got my email too. You want to try that? I just posted my email. Oh. My cat's going ape shit. I've got my email up. I'm just waiting for it to show. Pick your best paragraph. What you think is your best paragraph. That's hard, because if I was asked to do that, I wouldn't even know what the heck. Mental note. I need to make some sort of viewer sticky note or something where they can actually share some stuff. Waiting for it to come in. Here we go. All right, this is from the Robot King. He looked down at the dirt path and watched loose rock move out of the way of his foot. He began to mindlessly walk. The cool wind swirled gently around him as he made his way back home. He noticed a bright light coming from the direction of his village. As he grew closer, the light got brighter. Soon he saw the flames. They seemed miles high, lighting up the night sky as if it were day. Panic invaded his body almost immediately. Without thinking, he dropped the pheasant, sprinting into the flames of his village. It seemed as if the world around him was on fire, and the endless hit burned his skin, but he didn't care. All he could think about was getting to his house. Crowds of people raced past him, nearly causing him to fall over from time to time. He saw his house near the end of the village. It too was up in flames. I dig it. I could visualize it. Good job. So he's a hunter. So he caught his own pheasant. He was going to his village. So I'm imagining this is like just outside the castle. Yeah, no, man, you're good. Hey, so what I try to do is, you know, when I'm writing, I just get out the idea that I'm trying to take from my brain and put it on paper. And then I just come back and edit it later. So if I've got spelling errors or grammar errors, it's better to just get it out and then come back and edit it later. Oh, this was already in the Outlands. Okay. I think that's a great start, dude. Definitely. If you don't mind me asking, does your story have a bad guy? Is there a villain, or is it the king and his overpowered army? Okay, a little Mr. Robot going on there. Nice. Does he destroy it with mana? Oh. So you've got character backstories and magic systems going on. That is going to be a large story. I would love to see you finish that. Power scaling. Yeah. I see a lot of potential with that story, for sure. You know what it actually reminds me of? The Dragon Prince. How close am I to that? Oh, it messes with time. He's probably ancient, right? And he's been like fluctuating time around his body to prevent him from aging. You never heard of the Dragon Prince? That was a Netflix show. I strongly recommend you try it. I only watched the first. That's what he does? Yeah. Yeah, I strongly recommend you check out The Dragon Prince. Season 1 was good. I didn't get very far with season 2. But yeah, that's good stuff, because like if you're fluctuating time around your body, and he's obviously in a stasis, right? So time is stopped around him. So if someone tried to assassinate him or shoot a bow, the bolt would just like stop before it hit him, because it was just stopping time, right? So it might look like a shield, but it's not. It's just time is standing still. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, that's cool shit. What does the villain do? Oh, hello, I need more coffee. Please. How much more moving in do you got to do, Danny?
Oh, there's always boxes.
His magic is used automatically without needing to be activated, working as a shield to physical attacks. When emotionally unstable, his powers become extremely uncontrollable, throwing people or objects nearby in random directions. Interesting. But telekinesis that he doesn't control. Does the link between his telekinesis and his mental state have anything to do with how he's defeated? Actually, no? Okay. Well, don't spoil it. I was imagining like the hero isn't strong enough to beat him, so all he does is troll him, and the guy like just completely wigs out and accidentally kills himself or something. Yeah, like gets him to a big crescendo fight up in a tower, and his telekinesis rips the tower to pieces, and he's just left falling, something like that. A little, subversion of expectation. But you'd have to, so that would be tricky though, because if you're going to make a character that's, incapable of defeating the villain with just raw strength, you'd have to make his personality the compensating factor, right? So he'd have to be witty and sarcastic, and those characters are hard to write because I'm neither, as Danny can attest. I haven't heard of Wattpad. Wat. So you want to know a website I recommend? And I'm not sponsored or anything, but I think it is a great place to start. Check out Campfire Write. Oh, what? Try Campfire Write, because that website has templates for like world design, power, magic, structure, cultures, and societies. Like, for what you're doing, like that's some real world building that you're doing. Yeah, here, I'll show you. I'll pull it up real quick. Hey, man. At least you haven't stopped, right? So, like, look, so I had the Volition on Campfire Right originally. But, so one of the cool things is the timeline. So you can create arcs. You can create arcs in your story. Ooh. All right, my settings are making this weird. Hold on. Well, you can create arcs and you can tie in different events with your story. But then what I was saying, yes, it is free up to a point, right? Like it's a paid service, but they want you to use it. So they'll give you like 5 magic spells or something, right? So here, I want to make a magic spell. So if I click add new, oh, it's a whole magic system. Damn. So how emotions can cause this magic. What is all this? Limitations. So you can add limitations. Something this magic can never do versus something the magic can do. The mod got you. So yeah, like energy drain costs, and you can add costs. But I don't know what this item name is. Let me see. Okay, so costs, right? So what would, you know, time magic? What's the cost for time magic? If he ever stops using it, he'll turn into ash or something, right? Like something awesome like that. And then, but you've got languages, whole philosophies, items. Like I was trying to track this watch I had, so you can describe the watch, what it does. Here's some statistics. I don't know what this is. Weight, value, origins, how rare it is. So I'll go, yeah, I think the timeline is my favorite. Because for like each character, you can create a progressive arc for them. And there's a, let me zoom out here. See, so like each one of, see my finger? I can't even see what I'm pointing at. So like the main plot, and of course you can rename these whatever you want, right? But like I've got my main points, acts 1 through 3, and then I have the nightmares broken up and where they tie in. Oh yeah, man. The timeline really helps. I will say it's kind of complicated when you first start because it wants you to give like an exact freaking like year. Like it goes like before common era, after common era, and all this. And like I just did like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 just to make it sequential rather than actual time periods, right? That's what I would recommend if you're gonna add a timeline. You got maps too. How does this work? I haven't done some of these before. I guess you just upload a map. Oh, so okay, so here's why you upload the map, right? So check this out. So if I go to my manuscript, you see how the name is highlighted, Patrick? So I created a character named Patrick. And this is where your backstories go, right? So if you click that highlighted name, it takes you to the Patrick character that you made. And that's where you can link his backstory. So you don't have to go back and forth between your notes on your desktop, right? You can just go boop. All this stuff, and then you can edit it here. I strongly recommend Campfire Right, especially if you're just getting started. It does cost money, but it's free up to a point. Like, you can make 10 characters. I don't know how many other things, how many magic systems you're allowed to make, but you get the idea. What's a graphic novel? I don't know. I think like a picture book, right? Yeah, I'd have gone with like, yeah. Like a webcomic, sort of. Maybe more words, less pictures. Brother, I would do a graphic novel, but I can't draw. My left hand does nothing. It's just dead weight for balance when I walk. Eventually, if this stream gets big enough, I want to get into storyboarding and actually getting into 2D and 3D animation using Blender. That's the goal, but one step at a time. Let's just finish the first story. I would say I don't either. I did break out the sculpting tool though once, and it's actually easier than you might think. You just need someone over your shoulder telling you like what each tool does and then letting you mess with it a little bit. I think the tutorials make it overly complicated. Okay, so now you got animals too. Yeah, man, your universe is huge. Because now you're talking about people who hunt Hydra, which I can only imagine are giant, right? So you've got a whole different culture of fishermen on a whole nother level. And it's a delicacy, so it's probably being hunted or fished somewhere remote, right? So now you've got a whole new location on top of it. Interesting. I think you're definitely onto something there. That would be a cool story to pick up on, for sure. I'm imagining them on like a raft or something that use their magic to like javelin their spears, you know, uniquely, accurately, and strong. And they just like ride the Hydra until it tires out. kind of like whale hunting back in the day. Well, hey, Robot King, I'm going to wrap it up here for tonight. I stayed on a little bit longer than I planned to, but it was cool hanging out with you. I want to see more of your story. I hope you keep working on it. Oh, that's clever. I like that. Yeah. All right, brother. Well, hey, have a good night. Don't quit working on that story. Break it out and start chipping away at it, you know? And try a campfire ride out. Yeah, man. I hope to see you next time. But otherwise, have a good night, all right? Let me know what you think when we hang out again. All right. Later, brother.